Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome to Cash Talks Football, where I talk about all the goals scored in the Premier League, using my over 20 plus years of coaching experience to give you different insights into all sorts of things in the Premier League. And thankfully, we've got it back. I'm going to show you a couple of little points on this first Arsenal goal. Now, Arsenal are still in with a run at the title, regardless of what anyone else is telling you. They still are. They've just got to keep winning. Same as everybody else. If they win all their games and somebody else loses, obviously they win. Smith Rowe was playing in this game, and I'm actually a fan of his, and I know Arteta doesn't favour him, and I do. I think he offers something a little bit different. He's not afraid to drop a shoulder and try to take a player on. But we're going to comment about a couple of little things on this first goal, some things you might not actually agree with me on, but this is awful. So we're going to watch right here with this little cluster goes down before the throw-in, right? And this is what ends up happening with bad players and a bad mentality in the team, badly coached and bad organisations. This is what happens. Look, this guy goes down. It's not a foul. He just takes a hit. Okay? And he's trying to get a free kick. There's another one of his players down right now. So the ball's gone out for a throw-in. It's not his. He's trying to win a free kick using some sort of, chicanery. He might have a little bit of a dead leg on it, but he's got to get up and play football. So what's ended up happening is the rest of his team are looking around and seeing if the referee is making a decision. And what they should be all doing is defending the throw-in. Get up and play the game. Because the ref's not interested because he's being a baby. And watch, all of a sudden when he realises he doesn't get the free kick, he is ready to play the game. But it's all too late, because what has ended up happening is everyone is switched off for a couple of seconds, and that's all it takes at this level. Because as I always say, if you see my sort of descriptions, if I say, there's that 1 minute and 45 seconds that makes you a Premier League player, and that 1 minute and 45 seconds lack of concentration, this was about 3 seconds. So a championship side would still have 1 minute 42 seconds they wouldn't pay attention, and this 3 seconds here has cost them a goal. But let's just watch what's happened. So these guys have switched off because this little guy here, no one is really focused, and you can see this pocket of space here that they've left for some reason. Saka unmarked. I think it's Saka here for the first goal. And he pretty much gets a free run into the goal now. Bosh and on he goes. Because no one is really paying attention. They're looking at the guy on the ground. And that's just the whole attitude there of these players in one little clip. Now it gets worse because this is awful. If you're a Premier League goalkeeper, you should not be letting in goals like this. And I don't know how he does. I believe this guy, I think he was actually Arsenal and he got dropped from Arsenal and now he's at Nottingham Forest and he's going to get dropped for Nottingham Forest letting in goals like this. He's on his near post here. There's no way this is going to be a goal, but somehow it goes through his legs and into the net box. That is terrible goalkeeping. A goal from out of nothing. If he was anyway decent and could cover his bases, basics, not bases. That wouldn't have been a goal. That little mistake wouldn't have counted. But again, it goes down to that mentality of them just not being able to switch on a little bit of, you just can't do things like that. If you're not good at football, which they're not, you can't try to cheat with those little niggles and hope that your team's going to back you up. They're not good enough. And when they let that pocket of space appear right here, and you can see that pocket of space from a throw-in, that should never be happening. Never be happening, but it has, because one guy's fallen over and everyone is focusing on that instead of not focusing on that. And that's what you've got right there. Let's get on to the next goal and see what we can find. In true Cash fashion, before I move on, I'm going to show you just a little bit more of how much space they've given this guy here. Look at that. That is unbelievable. And remember, a throw-in. You can't be offsides, morons. But yet, for some reason, they don't know this because they're all focusing on this idiot who's fallen over. And yeah, just letting him have a free run in there. Oh, sorry, it's Jesus, isn't it? It's not Saka. Yeah, my bad. Let's go on to the next goal. This is the Saka goal, but I want to show you a couple of things again. Remember, if you watch my channel for a little times, you're going to know someone's got their hand up telling someone what to do in the Premier League. We know in about 2 to 5 seconds, someone is about to score a goal because of you not doing your job properly. Right, let's see what job he should be doing, but he's telling somebody else to do. Okay, as the bouncing ball comes on here, he's not dealing with it. Right, he needs to be dealing with that ball. Okay, so the first thing he needs to do is take a touch and give that back to his keeper. Why? Because that's the way he's facing. And he basically takes all of these players out of the equation here. Why does he need to go back to his keeper? Because you can see there's pressure coming, right? Can you see the line here? There's pressure coming, one there, two little lines boxing him in. He doesn't have a left or a right back to go to because everyone was up taking the corner, doing whatever on the attack, so he needs to reset the play. He doesn't. He lets this guy take it. What's the problem with this guy? He's just going to knock it back into a situation where no one is going to keep possession of the ball, where if he was doing his job properly, instead of telling somebody else to do it, he would have put his foot on it, given it back to his keeper, and then they all could have got back and reset the phase of play and start again. Didn't happen because he's a muppet. Right, so what does his mate do instead? Okay, his mate puts a foot... Oh, wow, who could have seen that coming? Anyone who's got any sense in the game of football, because he's not going to be able to pick a pass out because he's got no one to pass to. The only pass was back to the keeper, but he was facing the wrong way, which the other guy should have done, but they're just terrible at the football. Yeah. Now it's just a case of, woo, let's see how quickly we can transition. The first ball's here is out wide. Nice little ball, now off to the races. Now we can see we're in a 4v2 situation just because some idiot was telling someone else what to do instead of taking control of the situation and just playing it back to his keeper and calming everything down. You can see how many players are trying their hardest. Look, honestly, you've got to give the credit to the players that are actually trying to get back and do the right thing, even though when one of their idiots... See, here's the problem. Everyone's going to blame that centre-back for coming up and passing the ball, which, yeah, okay, it's right. But that's not the first mistake. That's the second mistake. The first mistake is the one telling everybody what to do instead of taking charge, passing it back, and just calming everything down. Okay, so let's just move this on a little bit, see what we can see. Right, I jumped it forward just a little bit because I always get a copyright strike when I try to do these transitional goals. Okay, you can see he's slowed down there. This guy's really, he's got to try to get closer to the ball, but he can't because there's so many passing options. Like if he goes there, it's just going to go in behind for him. This, however, is a great ball over here to Saka. Quality little ball, boff, straight over there. The guy that caused all the problems, he's really just doing nothing. He's just a passenger. Saka takes a touch and hits it into the net box as a quality finish. Can't really blame the keeper for much for that one. The keeper did pull off another good save late, I think it was earlier on in the game as well. But he's just an error for that terrible, terrible goal. But that's you scoring on yourselves, not them scoring on you. You gave them the ball, they smashed you on the transition because Saka's going to beat you for pace. Well, he didn't have to because the ball was on the other side. And that's what ends up happening. Let's check out the last goal. Okay, this is where I actually think Arsenal are vulnerable, because when you try to play it through them, they're used to trying to do that because that's generally what they do in training. What they're not really good at is if you hit the balls, long balls at them, not near their two centre-backs, because they're quite quality in the air. It's when you catch them on the outsides, they don't challenge for the ball. They're just not very good at it. As you can see here, as this ball comes in, he's got a free header here. The guy's looking at the player, he's not looking at the ball. And clearly, he doesn't know what he's doing. It's a nice little, just loopy header in there to deal with. And at the same time, I said they're good with dealing with balls, long balls, and the two centre-backs are. They don't deal with this one at all in any way, shape or form. As it drops, that's a good bit of a body check there. He actually puts his strength in, turns the defender, and then just gets completely and utterly lucky. That is an absolutely lucky bounce and break of the ball. See, this is where I doubt this keeper, because any other top Premier League goalkeeper, when that happens, knows he's going to turn and get a shot off and will be coming out closing the target, and he's not. He's sat there right on his heels. He's not coming out to do anything. Look, trying to get out. It's all kind of too late now, and it's an easy finish in the end. It's a goal out of nothing. They did score it, though. It's not that Arsenal had given them a turnover. They created it from knocking the ball long, straight to the out to the outside, knocking it into the middle. Arsenal should have defended that better. And if they want to have a shot at the league, they're going to have to. I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.